Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the worst writer in the world with me, Rufus, and...
Me, Howard.
You got it right.
Yes.
That's you almost got it wrong, but you got it right.
Hooray.
We are very grateful to the British Comedy Guide for hosting us.
Thank you.
Why not go and check out some of their other great shows, like the Man by Cow podcast or
Yeah.
Binge Leaf Private Eye that they also host. They're good too.
None
right?
of the others. Just those
Absolutely
two.
none of the others, just them. And also, we are very endlessly, hugely, and turgidly grateful to our patrons on Patreon.
Yeah, we love them.
For example, this week's Plot So Far writer, Mr. Neil Splankers Starkey. In the greatest will they won't they romance since Rufus and Howard,
Hooray.
the love feelings between Will and Eve grow during a geographically questionable evening stroll through London town. On arrival at the party, Will's suicidal thoughts cause him to flee and consider a quick dip in the Thames. But Eve, like a siren, draws him back to the silent disco. Right, so Will has just arrived at the silent disco.
That sounds good and not rubbish.
He taps her on the shoulder and she stops and turns. She looks at him. He looks at her.
Wow.
Pause.
They look at each other.
Yeah. She stops her iPod. She assesses him, looks him up and down. His entire person seems to be saying sorry. A little smile appears on her face. This smile of forgiveness allows him to smile too. She pulls out an earpiece from her iPod and holds it out to him as a peace offering. He takes it and places it in his ear.
Okay.
He gets ear disease and instantly dies. The end.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Turns out it was set in the future when London's a lot smaller and like Leadenhall Market's right next to the Millennium Bridge, and ear disease is a big problem.
Yeah.
Or is it a pig problem?
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week when there's something else.
Bye. No, unfortunately that's not what happens. She pulls out an earpiece. Oh no, we've done that.
Kills him, yeah.
Yeah, he did. They stand among the mixed dancers. Mixed. Like they're not
Some
all
of
just...
them are peanuts and some of them...
Some of them are raisins. Some of them are almonds. No, but I mean, does that mean they're not one amorphous blob? The dancers
You know exactly what it means. You know exactly what it means.
Do I? I mean, do you
They're
mean
all
mixed
just-
race?
No, I mean, they're all doing different fucking dances.
That's
so they're
not what mixed
dan-
means. The mixed dancers. Like someone stirred them. They are forced to stand close together because of the length of the earphone wires. Yeah, that makes sense. That's how earphones work. Unless she's got these weird earphones.
She's got a really, really wide head.
Yeah.
He stands at one end of the room and she stands at the other.
They listen to the first strains of the song before they move closer and tentatively place their arms around one another.
Oh, hello.
As the song progresses, they become more comfortable.
He slips it in.
They become more comfortable, they relax a bit. He gets a sandwich out. She starts drinking hot chocolate.
Silent sex disco. Everyone's fucking, you know,
Quietly.
not together.
They've all got sex dolls.
Yeah.
Everyone went to it's a silent orgy.
Yeah.
Where everyone turns up with a sex doll and fucks it next to each other.
Yeah.
Same
Pretends
idea.
that they're at home in their bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah, hear that? Silent disco? Consider yourself fully lampooned.
I bet some of our listeners have been to silent disco
Bet some of
and
them
have enjoyed them.
Fucking love it.
Someone's going to write to us to tell us that
Tell
it's
us
fun.
tell us that we're wrong there.
And you know,
But-
if you haven't tried it, you can't snudge it.
But I mean, that's true. That's true. But I say if you have tried it, you can't snudge it because snudging's not a thing.
Not a thing.
It's not a thing. Yeah. So don't write to us and say if you haven't tried it, we can't snudge it because we know that.
No, but do write and say that because we always like to remind you that someone is actually listening to any of this rubbish.
All right. So interior party elsewhere. Elsewhere, later, Will and Eve step away from the bar and go to watch a live band which plays at a silent disco.
Bandwich.
Cheese bandwich? Yes, please. As they stand watching, there is a flash of light in their faces. They have been photographed by a young girl with a Polaroid camera.
Hello.
This is Anna.
Hello.
She is very pretty, blonde, and incredibly happy and buoyant.
Ooh.
She is from some undefined area of Eastern Europe. Another great stage direction there.
Thank you.
She's from undefined Eastern Europe and speaks near perfect English. Hey, that was a good one. Anna, hi, Will, this is Anna, the lucky lady. Anna, this is Will. Anna shakes his hand vigorously. Pleased to meet you, and are you going to make Eve lucky too? She's buoyant and nondescript in Eastern European. So that's what I'm doing. Nondescript Eastern European buoyant person. We're friends. But maybe lucky ones, yes? Anna shakes the Polaroid vigorously. This camera is amazing, right? It's coming through already see. I told Ref I wanted to be a photographer.
Near perfect English.
So he got me this for... He got me this for practice.
He's good, yes. I like the photograph.
Like you, my English goodies,
Take it with the flicky Alfie. His face come out on the piece of paper. What the fuck?
What the fuck? The photo is done. Anna inspects it. She gets a magnifying glass out. I don't like this photo very much. I need to do it again. Now she says, you look so cute together. She hands it to Eve.
Like couple do wanky wank wank.
I know they're at a silent disco, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what couples do. Maybe you want to go home and look at each other while masturbating.
Yes.
You can keep it. Oh, later we're having an egg barrow and spoon race.
I'm fucking fun.
Later we're having an egg barrow and spoon race.
Later on for dinner we're having fish, chips and shoes. You know, I got a packet of crisps with salt, vinegar and crate. I don't think you've quite understood crisps there, Alan.
You don't get crate flavour. It's salt, vinegar and crate.
Later we go to cheese, wine and dog party.
Okay, so here's what's happened recently. Will was horrible to Eve,
Yeah.
right? Then he stalked her to a disco,
Yeah.
right? So this is like some serious negging going on. He's like, be horrible, do stalking, right? You know, one of them's nice, one of them's not so nice, right?
Which one's the nice one?
That's a joke. They're
Okay.
both bad.
So I shouldn't do either of them.
No, don't do either of them.
Okay.
Then, after stalking her to a disco, she was really pleased to see. She was like, "Oh, you stalked me? How nice!" Right? And so they had a bit of a dance. Got accosted by a comedy foreigner, and now Will wants to apologise. About before. She needs no apology. Shush. It says shh, but I can't do that in a Scottish accent. Shush your mouth.
Ockadoodle shh.
Yeah. Because Scottish people always start their sentences with ockadoodle, don't they? Where are you going? I'm going to the Ockadoodle pub. All right. Do you want some Ockadoodle chips? No, fine, thanks. Ockadoodle, how are you? Ockadoodle. Ockadoodle. You're getting confused between Scottish people and roosters, right?
Yeah, ockadoodle roosters. What are you ockadoodle doing later on?
No, pause. Yeah. You want to know who she's marrying? Go on. Guess. No, you don't have to guess. No, it's okay. He's going to choose a person from the room. Will spies a very happy man of approximately 50 dancing away to his iPod. This is Rafe, though he is quite round. He is in no way comedy fat. Though he is quite round, he is in no way comedy fat. He's not comedy fat, Howard. What the fuck is comedy fat?
He's not Greg Benchley.
Basically, you're saying he's quite large, but he's not a guy. He's not like Eddie Murphy in a fat suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a comedy fat, isn't it? Because like there's no point. It's like when you go to the doctors, they don't say, "Oh, you're overweight," and then the next person, "Oh, I'm afraid you're obese," and the next person, "No, you're morbidly obese," and the next person, "I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. You're comedy fat." That's not a stage. Anyway, so that's Howard's direction. This is Rafe. Though he is quite round, is in no way comedy fat, and he has a pleasant face. So he's not a funny, ugly, fat bloke. That's what we're saying. Don't cast him. No, he is well dressed and clean shaven all over. How do we know? Is he also naked? He's big, round, naked man listening to an iPod.
This is well dressed all over, doesn't
shaved. No, clean shaven all over.
it? Right. Oh,
So he's shaved his balls. Will says, "Baldy." Eve looks at Will in disbelief. "And you're no good at guessing games. Because you haven't even bothered to finish the first one we started. I'm going to guess what I'm training to be. Oh, I don't know, some kind of spaceman." Spaceman.
Bag.
You know, training to put loads of apples in you. No. Who trains to be a bag? Exterior roof night. The London skyline view is fantastic from here.
Ooh, lovely.
There are about 15 people up here enjoying the view, the air, or a fag.
So that's 5 for each one. 5 fag lovers. 5 air lovers.
View lovers. Sat on the edge together are Eve and Will. She smokes a sneaky smoke.
Yeah, she does.
Who's she sneaking it from? Who's she hiding it from? Because there's 5 other people smoking up there. So is it the air people? They get really annoyed.
Probably.
If you're smoking.
Yeah.
All right, so you remember that egg barrow and spoon race that there's been so much talk about?
Yeah.
Well, Eve and Will won it.
Oh, well
All right?
done.
But we cut that scene because it was stupid and boring.
Okay.
All right. But understand, listener, Eve and Will won the egg barrow and spoon race.
Maybe you shouldn't have cut that because that might be integral to the amazing twist that comes at the end of the movie.
Oh, no, don't mention the twist now.
Okay.
They don't know about the amazing twist yet.
Okay.
And nor do I. I've got no idea what it is. What could it be? Who's going to turn out to be a woman this time? Is it Eve? Right.
No, that's the twist.
That's the same twist. That is the same twist.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so they won the egg barrow and spoon race, which is, I don't know what that is. And the prize was a bottle of champagne.
Nice.
So now they've got a bottle of champagne, right? And they decide, what are they going to do next? Well, let's go for another walk, since that was so interesting the first time.
Yeah.
Right? Let's go for another walk, but this time with our bottle of champagne.
Nice.
Who raised you? My nan. My lovely lady Nan. Do you know what she used to say? She used to say, "What you going to do with all that jam? All that jam and that piece of ham?" And I'd say, "I'm going to make a sam. Make a sandwich for you, Nan." That was the only conversation we ever had. And then she died.
From jam.
She choked to death on jam.
She was allergic to jam. And we all knew.
That's why she was asking me what I was doing with all that jam.
I'm making you eat it,
Yeah,
Nan.
she knew I was going to kill her with it.
I needed someone to live, and she had a lovely house.
It was lovely.
It was absolutely lovely.
Lovely house.
Not such a lovely house you've got here and there. Have some jam. I don't like jam. It kills me. Have some jam, okay. Get it done, ye.
Actually, she's the reason I'm back. She's getting old. She's in a home and all, but recently she's not been well. I'm sorry. It's probably all that jam I made her eat. To be honest with you, I should have seen that coming.
Isn't she dead? I mean, what's she doing in her home? She's like rotting. She's a skeleton sitting in a chair.
Yeah, Eve doesn't know how it works when people die. She thinks you have to put people in a home.
She's just a jam-covered skeleton sitting in a reclining chair in a home.
With a skeleton covered in jam. I keep going in there and putting it on just to make sure she's dead. She says she's not been well. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to have to move her to some specialist centre. You know, a specialist centre where they specialise in skeletons covered in jam. You mean an undertaker? Yeah, because the nurses in the home don't know what to do with a skeleton covered in jam. And I'm thinking some kind of death specialist might be better. That's a good idea, yeah. My dad's an undertaker, a dead one. I could recommend you to him if you like. What's wrong with her? Sure, didn't I make that clear? She's a skeleton covered in jam. No, what's wrong with her?
She's a bit sticky.
She's got no flesh.
And dead. She's just dead and sticky.
Mostly it's the death part. Stickiness is incidental, really. You know, when you're dead, you don't worry about how covered in jam you are. Other people might. No, what's wrong with her? I'm not clear on the details yet. I have to go there this morning, actually, for a meeting. Do you need to go home? No, you can keep me awake until then. I'll turn up drunk and in last night's clothes at the home with my nan. Hi, it's me. I've come to see my nan. Is she still dead? I brought some jam.
And this guy that fucked me. I know a stink of piss because he weed all over me. He took me up the top of the London Eye.
Oh no, but I met him last night. He saved me from a trap. Now we're going to fuck. No, that didn't happen. Do you need to go home? No, you can keep me awake until then. Right. You'll have to tell me terribly interesting things to stop me falling asleep.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Okay, we did the band once. And we had the song on an advert. Oh, and this morning I went to my kitchen and there was a plate.
Is that your only two stories? That I was in a band, we had a song, and I saw a plate. That's all you've got. All right, I'll try and do another one for you. All right, here I go. Okay. Well, when I was young, my mum committed suicide.
Yeah, and then last night I was committing suicide by killing myself.
Yeah.
What? Oh, no, nothing.
I was getting deja vu. No, actually, what he says, quite appropriately, she says you'll have to tell me interesting things, and he says, uh-oh. Because he knows he's only got the two.
It's the most boring guy in the world.
He knows he's only got those two stories.
Let's get my guitar out again and sing a song about nuns, please. I feel safer with a guitar in my hand.
He needs it. But she says, and revealing. Revealing? What, you mean tell you my play story without my shirt on? Is that what you mean? No.
Not really, no.
I don't want to hear your plate story again.
A play story, and then tell you about how, I didn't include this bit before, but how I took my penis out and put it on the plate.
Yeah.
And then told my flatmate it was a sausage. She did what? Oh, no, nothing.
No, she says, and revealing. Revealing? Well, it's almost time. Time? Sexy time. It's almost sexy time, Will. Quick, let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs, you can piss on me. What?
Quickly.
We're outside, what are you talking about? Quick, we've got to find some stairs.
Just get upstairs. Get up the stairs.
No, she says, it's almost time. He says, time? And she says, do you consent to enter the stark honesty of Twilight's End? It sounds a little scary. It is. The night is winding down. The alcohol is wearing off. And in the harsh light of day, nothing is ever as pretty as it seems. Only the truth remains. So, we have the champagne. He's got the right idea. She's like, let's have a serious conversation. He's like, oh, get drunk. Well, what about a nice, sober conversation about feelings?
This is why I was trying to kill myself last night. Why can't women just want champagne and sex when they want to talk about feelings?
Why would we have to have a conversation about real things?
About my dad dying and then my mum committing suicide.
Wasn't it enough that I've told you three things? I've never told anyone three things before. Told you about my dead parents. Told you about my band. I told you about my plane. Never felt so close to anyone in my life. Now let's get drunk and fuck.
Will's infamous plate story.
Will says, we have the champagne, hopefully. Will, and you wish, yes. Aha, you realise, of course, you're trapped now. Trapped in a bubble of honesty. What the fuck are they talking about?
Well, she's like this annoying girl, right?
Yeah.
And she wants to have a chat, and she's also like trying to be kooky. And she's so she's flirting and saying like, I got you now. We're in a bubble of honesty. You got to tell the truth.
No, it's
tell you the
rubbish.
truth about my plate.
Rubbish
It
flirting.
was a bowl. I've never told anyone that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel so close to you now. Would you like to have sex?
Tell me this, I got the champagne. There's my penis.
But Will says, "Oh, not the bubble of honesty, but then I have you trapped too." "Damn it, yes. Anything you ask me, I can tell no lies." "Okay, I want to hear your most embarrassing story." And Eve says, "Okay, when I was 14, and for whatever reason, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but I hadn't gotten my first bra yet." "Oh, why? I'm trying to be flirtatious, so I thought I'd talk about bras. I may have made a misstep when I said when I was 14. I should have said when I was 22, and for some reason I hadn't gotten my first bra yet, and my big boobly jublies were bouncing around like dwarves on a trampoline."
What?
Hey, I never said I was good at metaphors, okay? It's just not good at metaphors. It's not Rufus's fault. What are you talking about? "I hadn't gotten my first bra yet. I was way overdue. I had massive boobs, but no bra is what I'm saying." Will says, "Can I say I really like this story? Because talking about 14-year-olds without bras on, that's my idea of a perfect night out. I like being awake at 7 o'clock in the morning."
I like 14-year-olds and I like the boobs. So a 14-year-old's boobs is my idea. Hold on a second, oh, officer, please.
Shush. "And I went to play tennis with Claire Follows." Why do you still do that? It's like I mean, we know this from your old Doctor Who stuff, that you, when you need a name, you just grab one of your classmates. But what, apparently you still do that now. You're like, I need a name, I'll choose someone I went to primary school with.
Yeah.
"And I went to play tennis with Claire Follows on the school tennis courts, but they were locked. So we had to climb the fence. That was the only rational reaction to going to play tennis with Claire Follows and finding the courts are locked. Climb the fence."
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that I'm setting up this story. Basically, I'm climbing a fence. I've got massive boobs, but I've not got a bra on, okay? That's the situation. So I don't know if you can guess what's going to happen, but it's probably going to be boob exposure, I think. Let's find out. "So I, clumsy fool that I am, lost my footing as I was getting over the top. The fence, the sharpish bit at the top, caught on my shirt and pulled it over my head." "With no bra," says Will. "And just let me check how old you were again. just remind me how old you were." "I was 14. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So you were 14 and you had no bra. Let me just get this very make sure I've got all the details right, okay? You're 14 and your boobs are out. Is that right? Is that right?" 15 minutes I hung there, half strangled and half naked, before Claire managed to help me free. What was she doing for 15 minutes? Just hitting her with a broom or something. Trying to get her free for 15 minutes. She's only hooked on by a shirt. Get some scissors or something. Just
Well, that should be completely. You just want to get her boobs out full
I
time.
want to get her away from this situation. Claire Follows has probably got a jacket she can lend her or something. Get her off the fence.
Claire Follows is just watching. Claire Follows is in love with
When she says
Eve.
15 minutes, she's like, Claire just stared at me for 15 minutes and then it was very easy to help me down.
I mean, it's the past, so she probably wasn't taking photographs, but that's what will be happening now, isn't
Yeah,
it? She would have got a camera out,
God,
filmed it, uploaded it.
Yeah.
She was too busy uploading it to YouTube.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't just be her, because apparently the rugby team just stood and watched. I like that idea. So, I mean, because she's not mentioned a rugby team before. Right?
Yeah.
So she's at the tennis courts with Claire Follows. Yeah. They're locked, so no one's playing tennis. So the rugby team are not playing tennis. We know that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, they're not
so
the
they
tennis
climb...
team, are they?
No. So they climb over. She catches her shirt. It gets pulled over her head, and she's hanging there with her boobs out.
Yeah.
And suddenly there's a rugby team just standing there staring at her for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They could fucking help, couldn't they? One of them could be like, I'll give you a hand down. I've had a look. No, they're just staring for 15 fucking
It's
minutes.
a long time, isn't it?
It's incredibly
15
long.
minutes is a really long time.
15 minutes,
to just stare at boobs.
to
and
just stand there staring at boobs of a woman who is trapped.
who's getting strangled to death,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, a dead woman. They're just staring at a dead woman's boobs. Anyway, the rugby team just stood and watched. Tennis tits was one of the many nicknames I enjoyed for several years after. One of the many nicknames.
Yeah.
So I wonder what others they came up with. trapped on a fence for 15 minutes and none of the rugby team fucking helped her. Tits.
Yeah. Yeah. Strangled to death boob woman. Yeah.
Rubbish friend woman. Yeah.
That dead girl.
Yeah. This is actually a ghost story.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, Will laughs. And then Eve says, "So, your turn." No, I've never been trapped on a fence with my boobs out. No, sorry, I haven't got. It's never happened to me. No, I meant a similar story, not the same story.
Similar. Okay. Once upon a time, with Fred Follows, and I was going to go and play badminton on the badminton court, but it was locked, and my penis was all big, but I hadn't had any pants yet.
Good.
I hadn't bought any pants
well
yet.
overdue for pants.
Well overdue for clothes. I was walking around naked.
25 years old I was.
Yeah, 25-year-old with my penis out. I'd never bought any clothes.
Yeah.
And and it was 15 minutes before the police came and arrested me.
The England football team stared at me. I don't know what they were doing there. But Gary Lineker just looked at me.
This invader got on the pitch, the England pitch, in the middle of the game with my penis out.
Yeah, tried to climb into goal.
Yeah.
Or when she says, it'd be quite funny because also he's got a terrible memory, right? So when she says, "So, your turn," he says, "Okay, when I was 14 and for whatever reason, I can't believe I'm telling you this, I hadn't got my first bra yet, but I was way overdue, and I went to play tennis with Claire Like, no. When I said your turn, I didn't mean to tell the same story. No, right, that seemed the implication that you'd said it and now I should say it, so you don't want me to tell you when I got my tits out. No, tell me a story. Yeah, so no, but he understands that. He can read context clues. He understands she doesn't mean repeat my story. Right? So he says, "I don't think I can beat that.
I can beat this, though," he said.
Beat off to that, and I will be doing for the rest of my life, which is not going to be very long, because I don't know if I mentioned, but this time tomorrow, I'm going to be dead with like a spear sticking out of my head because of suicide.
What?
Nothing. All right, let me tell you my story. Now, he says, "I don't think I can beat that." He says, "It's not a competition, Will, just mutual humiliation. I just want you to be humiliated." "Do you want to just get my penis out here?
Yeah.
Do you want, I'll get it out. You point and laugh." All right, here it is. No,
call it tennis penis.
I don't think you understood anything that's going on here. I told you a story, a funny, sexy story about me, my 14-year-old boobs.
Yeah, I like
Now,
that bit. Yeah.
I want to hear a sexy story from you. I tried to tell you the same story. You wouldn't accept it. No, he's going to do better than that. It's not a competition, just mutual humiliation. Okay, I'm 14, and I was going to play tennis with Claire. Oh, all right, no, sorry, that's your story. I'm very forgetful. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm 14 or 15, and over at what's her name? Helen. Anyway, she's older.
Yeah.
And she wants to spice up our sex life. So she put a load of turmeric on my penis. It really hurt. Hold on, you're 14 and have a sex life?
Well, not now, I'm not now.
I'm not in my late 20s and clearly don't have a sex life, or I wouldn't be here walking around with a moron. Well, I mean, I guess I was a late bloomer. I mean, I didn't even kiss anyone until... When?
She looks at her watch.
You tell me. You tell me. No, you were 15. I don't know. I've only just met you.
Now.
Now, is it now?
No.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh. What are you doing? That wasn't an invite to kiss me.
Yeah.
I got confused.
I've watched a lot of films, and it's pretty much, I've been taught by movies that the way to kiss someone is just to really like suddenly grab them and stick your tongue down their throat, and that's normal. Is that not? No,
I mean,
not
it's
really.
not. It's normal in films. Isn't it?
All right, but you're saying films and life are different.
Yeah, but this is a film, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is a film.
Okay, go ahead then.
Logic. So yeah, this is weird because she says, I didn't kiss anyone until when, and she says, you tell me.
You tell me, because he's not told a story yet.
But she means you tell me when you first kissed someone, and he says, I was 12.
Yeah, I was 12 when you first kissed someone. Is what he means.
Yeah. Same girl? No, I was kissing 3 girls at once. Of course it was the same girl. What do you mean?
She means
The same girl as you're having the sex life with.
you.
Yeah, no, I know. Same girl? No, different. I'd asked her out in the summer holidays. We walked around for a whole week just holding hands.
wow.
That's really interesting. You should make a film about 2 people who just walk around and don't really do anything much. That'd be really good. Have you thought about writing that into a film script?
I don't know. It was tough. We didn't go to sleep or
boring.
anything. Like,
Yeah, didn't sit down or anything.
a whole week walking around
Fucking
holding
You
hands.
sure I've still got the blisters 10 years later? So yeah, we walked around for a whole week just holding hands.
Wow.
Cute. I finally pullacked. I
Finally pullacked.
What? Oh, the word I used to mean kiss someone. I pullacked. Have you ever been? How old were you when you were first pullacked?
Here, I'm coming in your house, pullacking you. I'm going to pullack you.
No, that was me mispronouncing plucked because I finally picked. I only had less than 1 drink. This is terrible. I finally plucked up the courage to kiss her, and after she said, "Took you long enough." All right, so they walked around for a week. So this is a little cute kid snogging moment.
Yeah.
Right, but it is cute because it's adults describing it. If you show this, it's kind of weird, but it's okay because it's just an adult talking about it, right? But they spent a week walking around together. He's too scared to kiss her, and then he finally does, and she's like, "Oh, it took you long enough.
Yeah.
I've been waiting a week for that."
And she's
knackered.
an older woman, right? I'm knackered because I've been walking.
We haven't slept. We haven't sat down or ate.
Yeah,
They've just
yeah.
been walking around holding hands for a week.
Clean their teeth.
Yeah. To be honest, it was a bit disappointing in the end. I wish you'd done it a week ago.
But I mean, if she's an older woman and like she definitely...
Is she though? No, the 14. When he's 14 is the older woman. I think he said this is a different one.
Well, she still sounds a bit kind of like forward. And why didn't she kiss him if like, you know... If she wanted to not have to go on that 1 week hike, right? She wanted to avoid a 1 week hike.
To Kissland.
She could have just kissed him on day one.
She could, yeah. So Will says, I finally picked up the courage after a week to kiss her, and she said, "Took you long enough." And Eve says, "The hussy."
Ooh.
Slut shaming a 12-year-old. It's a bit much, isn't it? Fucking hell, Eve, calm down. No, she's joking, right? She's having a little joke because they're both trying to spice up this frankly unspicy conversation. They're really shit at flirting.
What?
But they're
This is
really,
great
really
stuff.
trying.
This is
She's
really
like,
sexy
"Oh, when I was
stuff."
14, my boobs fell out," and he's like, "Oh, I was 12, I kissed a girl."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go home now. Bye.
This is sexy stuff.
From a writer point of view, this is meant to be the flirty scene, right? This is what's going on here is like hot flirting.
Oh,
They're
this is
talking
hot.
about boobs and children.
Yeah. It was either that or lollipops and pissing. And I was like,
Well, I think you made the right choice.
I was like, maybe I do that. I'm going to go with that.
So Eve says, "The hussy." Mm-hmm. And Will replies, "Took you long enough," quoting her again. "I dated her for about 4 months." That's a long time for a 12-year-old. And she was the first girl I ever slept with. Yeah, 12, fucking hell. What? Seriously, because fucking hell, Will, you're telling me this is not sexy stories anymore. This is a history of abuse. Of course, "took you long enough" was not a phrase she used on that occasion. Child abuse.
No, it's not, because remember, this isn't an older woman. You said it was the other relationship with the older woman. This is just 2 12-year-olds consensually having sex. And one of those, and the sassy 12-year-old girl saying,
"Took you long enough."
not saying "took you long enough" after he came
Took you
after
short enough.
after 2 seconds when they're
I
sexual.
hope she said "took you short enough."
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. It's not abuse in the sense of either of them abusing each other, but there should be adults stopping them from doing this.
You know what? I'm thinking that, you know, when I was younger, there were like other kids who said they'd had sex, and
you believe- you still believe them,
I
yeah.
still believe them, and I just wrote in and like, yeah, because people were always having sex when they were 12.
Yeah, I
'cause they
remember
told
saying,
me.
because they used to do that thing where they'd say, "Are you a virgin?" And you didn't know what the word virgin meant.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, yes, because they made it sound like a good thing. And then they'd laugh at you.
Or you'd say no, and they'd laugh at you.
Yeah. Or you'd run away crying and they'd laugh at you. Yeah. Or you'd just have to hang there with your tits out because you were stuck on the tennis courts and they'd still laugh at you. Yeah.
That was the best one.
Yeah, he says, "Took you long enough" was not a phrase she used on that occasion. And Eve says, You had sex at 12?
Okay, she's on board.
She's on board with the... Howard, have you thought this through? Are you sure you're not just trusting things that children said to you and using them as the only research for your script? Lies that other kids told you when you were also 12. Are you sure you shouldn't maybe consider whether or not they might have been lying, Howard?
No.
Breaking character a bit there. You want to come back into the scene? So, you had sex at 12, and he says... No, we waited till I was 13. Which is also weird, right? We waited is like what you say when people say, like, we waited until we got married, or we waited until we were both 16 or 18, depending on the law. But there is no reason to wait and, well, I'd like to have sex with you, but do you mind if we wait until I'm 13 years old? A completely arbitrary number. Can you wait until I'm 3 years below the age of consent rather than 3 years and a month?
We don't know where he was brought up. He may have been brought up in
kid fucking world. Yeah, absolutely. He might have been raised on kid fucking planet. I enjoyed that so much, I wish there was more to listen to.
You can get massively extended episodes at Patreon.
Where is Patreon? Is it safe? Is it alright?
Patreon.com/Man by Cow, and yes, it's safe and it's better than alright, it's brilliant!
Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
Thanks for listening to another wonderful episode of The Worst Writer in the World.
If we do say so ourselves.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really like that bit where boobs came out and we talked about it for half an hour. That was my favourite bit. If you enjoy this show, but you always think, wouldn't it be so much better if I could look at them and actually interact with them live as they read this stuff? Well, coming up this week is your chance to do that. On Thursday, the 20th of December...
2018.
Yeah, just in case you're listening in the future and you're going to write to us and get stressed. Like, I was there on Thursday, the 20th of December, 2054, and you were not doing a live stream.
Well, we wouldn't be in 2054 because that's when the Daleks invade, isn't it? Officially,
all right.
In Doctor Who.
If you're in 2054, carry on fighting the Daleks and don't be waiting for us to do a live stream, all right? But if you're here in 2018, you can watch us live reading some of Howard's shorter compositions, little stories and things that we've got. Basically, we've got a massive stack of exercise books that are full of exciting things. So come and find us on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, or patreon.com/Man by Cow. We will post links on all of them, and we'll be there on Thursday the 20th at 8 p.m. GMT.
English time.
GMT, yes.
English time. English tea time.
English tea time. Yeah, 8 o'clock in the evening, absolutely. We hope to see you there.
We won't be able to see them, though, will we? I mean, they'll be able to see us. We hope you'll see us there.
We hope you'll see us there.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll see that little picture that comes up of them, or their name or whatever, so that's kind of them.
Yes!
We hope to see your name there.
Yeah, and hear your brilliant comments.
No, read them.
Well,
We're not doing very well at these sense words, are we? We're really failing at this.
hey, you remember when the theme tune played at the end there, and Darth Vader came on and started talking about Patreon?
Something called Patreon, yeah. I'm worried that some people might not trust Darth Vader's words, right? Yeah. They might not go, I don't know what Darth Vader tells me.
We got anyone more trustworthy we can ask about Patreon?
Very slightly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got another testimonial. Someone who's written in to say why they like being in the secret gang. This testimonial is by Mr. Ben, not Darth Vader, Ross. I joined the secret gang because I had listened to all the free Gret Binchleaf stories and Man by Cow episodes many times, and I wanted more. Well, not only did I get a lot more shows, including the amazing complete history and history of Underspace, but I also got to rent the friendship and camaraderie that was otherwise missing from my life. No one I know in the real world cares about cosplay, colouring in, or having Lego minifigs of themselves. The secret gang do. Well, a fair few of them anyway.
Yeah, Ben, it's not that people in the world aren't interested in cosplay. It's just they're not interested in dressing up as Nazis. It's different.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more of the same.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Yeah,
or next week, we say that.
Yeah, special Christmas episode that doesn't mention Christmas once, probably. Anyway, thanks for listening to Latest Taters.
Latest
Taters.
Oh, latest taters.
stupid suck-ass rubbish writer. Yeah.